go around. Why don't you guys tell me how you guys read the greens, and then I'll tell you how I read the greens. So how do you read the greens?
Start out behind.
Okay. So let's say we're going to this hole. Forget about all the tees.
Okay, and then I'll look about halfway over here, especially to see where the break is.
Okay, so can you tell me why you went to that side? Just out of curiosity.
Because I'm going to miss everything on the low side. I want to keep it up higher.
Okay.
I try not to miss it on the low side.
Okay, so you read it.
I think this slopes this direction.
Yeah, it does. So you read it from the high side of the putt.
I guess so. Yeah, because you're going to break to the right.
Right. Okay.
And I miss that a lot.
Okay.
On these ones on the silver, especially.
Yeah, they'll get you. Okay. Nancy, how do you read putts?
I just stand back here because I'm intuitive, so I just look at it and then I say, okay, I'm going to go this way.
Okay, so you guys it's both breaking to the right, which is correct. Okay. How do you read putts?
I use a plumb.
You plumb bob, okay. Good. Now,
Explain that. I don't
Yeah.
understand.
I never have been
okay, so why don't you explain it to us, how you plumb bob? So let me grab a golf ball. Because I used to do it. I kind of got lazy and just got out of the habit of it, but I did used to do it.
Well, first I decide which way I think it's going to be rolling.
Okay, so
And
which
so
way is...
I try and see where are the mountains and, you know, what.
Okay,
what's
so if we
around
didn't have
me.
mountains, what would you do?
I think I would just look at, see if I could see the major slope.
Okay, so I'm going to interrupt you real quick,
Okay.
and that kind of brings me into one way I read greens. So in California, we don't have mountains that big, so I can't judge it off the mountain. So what I do is I'll get low with, behind the ball like this, and I'll look at the green. And so I'll picture that they have a bunch of water on the green, right? And then from the hole, I picture which way the water is going to drain. Because one, that's how the break of the green is going to be, and two, that's how the grass grows, because we do put water on the greens. So from right here, it's going that way towards JR, because that's where the low point of the green is, and if I put water here, it's all going that way towards him, right?
Why isn't it going down that way?
Well, it would a little bit, but from right here, it's mostly going to funnel
Okay.
to this direction. So, sorry to interrupt, continue.
Do you look at the cup to see the clear cut on it?
I do, but sometimes that can fool you, because it depends on how good the maintenance crew is, because they can, so we're all saying it's going to the right, from down there, correct?
Right.
They can cut it to where it makes it look like it goes to the left. So you can't always trust the way
It
the
just
cup
tells you
looks.
which way the grass is green up there.
Right. But you can't always trust the direction of the cup, because if someone doesn't know what they're doing when they cut it, they can do it lopsided, and then it looks like it goes one way, but it really goes the other.
Oh, we thought they did that just to trick us.
They could. There are tournaments, we call them heaven and hell tournaments, where the front nine's very easy and the back nine's very hard, and they'll do that on the back nine, so it tries to trick you. And they intentionally do it.
And they pull up and
That's right. They're fun. So, can you continue?
Sure. So you hold your putter like that, and you line up on the side of the ball where you think it's going to be rolling.
So you're saying this putt's going from left to right.
From left to right. So I line up the putter on the left side
Okay.
of the ball and look at the hole, and then you can kind of see how far out to the left of the hole you need to hit it.
How much it breaks.
Now, what about, I have the opposite dominant eye than you, so what do?
You close your,
I have to close my right eye and look out of my left eye.
so then you would just close your right eye.
And have that
You just line it up with your left eye.
with the left, and this is to the left of the ball.
Yep. So what are you reading?
Well, I'm reading that I need to hit the ball. I need to aim here.
Okay, I'd say that's pretty good. So you're more, with plumb bob, you become more of a spot putter, which a spot putter is you pick a spot that's not the hole and you try to roll it on a straight line to that, and then you let the curve of the green take it to the hole, which is kind of what I do, but not entirely. And I'll tell you how I do it here in a minute. So how do you read putts?
kind of the intuitive thing, although I'm not very intuitive.
Okay.
You probably are, you just don't know it.
So can you kind of go through your process for me?
Yeah, I just try to look at the entire green and
Okay.
say, where's the tilt, which
Kind of like the water thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I frequently get it.
It happens.
Yep.
JR, how do you read them?
Well, with me it can be overwhelmingly complex because, all right, it's not so hard to see if you're back here and you're down a little bit that there's
Okay.
going to be roll this way. But, you know, for example, on 7 on blue, I mean, you've got a plateau up here, you know?
Yep.
And if you and the cup can be back on that plateau. So you've got to figure that if the plateau is sort of running this way, the speed of your ball in the beginning is going to be faster than it is when it reaches the cup.
Right.
So you may overcome this. If this is the plateau and the slope,
Right.
you've got an angle here, and you'll overcome some of the deflection of that angle
Because you're hitting it
because
faster.
your ball is traveling faster.
Mhm.
But if everything being constant, you're going to get
More break to the
a
left.
break to the right,
right,
that
sorry.
way. So my mind is full of stuff when I'm trying to read greens.
Okay, so you got a lot going on up there.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay. So looking at this
But
putt,
it helps. I think it helps to get back a ways and
kind
I
of
think
feel
you
it.
can see the.
I'm probably 10 feet behind the ball when I read it.
I think you can see the break a little better that way. I don't know. I never get so close as to watch which way the grass is
Which it's growing.
growing.
So on
But
the
you
type
can't-
of grass we have here, grain's really not a big deal
Yeah.
because it kind of grows in all directions. If you're playing down in Florida or where I'm from, we have Bermuda grass, and grain is a huge factor. Like that's the first thing you read is grain
Really? All right.
because it will pull it. I mean, you can hit in California if you're going. So if the grain's growing this way, you have to play it 50% more of what you think.
Okay.
So if you think it's going to be here and the grain's growing this way, you actually have to put it there because it's going to take the ball. You'll miss it.
What's Lacosta got? They got Bermuda.
Here, we
Lacosta.
we couldn't put it in here just
I say,
because.
what's it Lacosta in California? In San Diego, Lacosta.
Oh, Lacosta.
Yeah.
I've never
But
played it, but if I had to guess, I'd say it's a Bermuda or a Zoysia grass, just because of the climate. We can't
It
put.
grows to the sun, right? That's basically
Yes.
what goes on.
It'll grow different times of the year. It will grow different directions. So the easiest way to read grain, if you guys wanted to know, is you just come look at the cup, and if it's overhanging on one side, that's the way the grain's going. And if it's not on the other, it's going that direction. So I'll go through how I read a putt.
There's even one kind of that grass that will grow in salt water. That's what I learned from a greenskeeper.
I did not know that. So I'm going to go through real quick on how I read a putt. So first thing I do is I'll get behind the ball like JR, and I'll kind of get the topography of this green. So really up there, that's not going to affect the ball all that much, you know? So I'm looking just kind of in this section of the green that my putt is on. So clearly the water on this section of the green is going to drain over here. So the putt has to be going this way. And that's how I get which way the putt's breaking. Then what I'll do, and that's the water, what I do with the water. So the water's going to drain this way. So then I know it's breaking to the right a little bit. So then what I do is I get down like this, and I do the Tiger Woods method, and I imagine a little red line. And actually, let me jump in real quick. So if you guys want to all come in here, next to this hole, has anyone talked to you about clock putting before? Seeing the hole as a clock? Okay, so I view the hole as a clock. So if we'll say I'm standing at 12 on this clock, so this would be 6, 3, and 9. So, but for that putt, that's not 6 o'clock anymore, right? Because now it's breaking. It's not going to roll in there. So you have to readjust and make probably there your 6 o'clock, right? And it's pretty obvious on longer putts, but in shorter putts, something like in here. Okay, so it's going to break towards you guys, right? To the right. So if I'm looking at it and I try to make it here, I just eliminated that, 50% of the cup for it to go into. So you got to pick a spot. So for this putt, I'm thinking that's 6 o'clock. So now I've only eliminated 20% of the cup, and I have 80% to make it in.
So you actually will always try to put it at 6 o'clock. You're not
Right.
just like knowing that it's going to go in at 10 o'clock.
Right.
You don't think that way. You think
No.
you want to make it
Well,
6 o'clock. 10 o'clock becomes 6 o'clock.
I readjust it. Correct.
Makes sense.
So, you know, it helps on a lot of these kind of putts. So if I'm here looking at it, so, you know, without the break, 6 o'clock's right here.
Right.
But if I try to make it on that 6 o'clock, you're going to miss it on the low side, or you might catch this slip and it might drop in. But why take out 50% of the cup for you to make it in? I mean, cups are small as they are, as it is. So I envision it rolling in here, making that my 6 o'clock, and now, okay, so I lost 20% of the cup, but I still have 80% to make it in. So then what I'll do, a putt right here, is I find my 6 o'clock, so I'm thinking that's probably 6 o'clock, and then I'll do the Tiger Woods method, where I picture it rolling in here, and then I'll picture, in my mind, it's a red line. I mean, other people, it's white, you know, I don't know why it's red, it just is in my mind. I picture a little red line coming like that, because that's how the putt's going to roll, right? And I've seen enough putts roll before that I know that that's how it's going to go. It's going to roll like that, and then a little line right back to say my ball's right here. So then I have a little spot on my line that it's going to roll in right in front of my ball. I'll line up. You guys use the little line on the ball to line up, right? Does anyone else know? You need to do that. It's huge.
Is it?
It's really good. So actually, can I see it from here?
But, so are you lining the line up to 6 o'clock?
My new 6 o'clock.
Yeah, right.
Well, I guess no, not technically. So I picture it, that's my 6 o'clock.
Right.
So I picture it, it's going to come like that, and it's going to go like right here. So let's say that's my ball. So I line it up to my line now. Okay, so this part of my line. So it's going to roll, and it's going to gradually fall in
But
there.
is that line pointing to your new 6 o'clock?
Yes, but not directly at it.
Why not?
Because
It's going to end in.
it's not going to go straight in there, right?
You
It's
want
going
to
to
pick
roll.
a place where your arc is highest.
Yes.
But see, when I'm standing here looking at your line, I don't know if you lined it up perfectly.
Whoops, probably not. But go ahead.
But I thought it looked like it was going to come in here, so you're losing that cup.
Okay. So you
It's
think
straight, you will.
with this line, it's going to roll in here? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Line it up exactly how you would do it, so we can really see.
Okay. That's probably pretty close to where I'd be. So this part of the ball. So
Okay,
it's,
I see.
if you're doing spot putting, it's probably out in here
Okay, I see from this angle, but from this angle,
a little better. So it's probably, if you're a spot putter, it's going to be out there. Whereas I don't particularly like it because I feel like I'm not putting to the hole, and I just don't like it. But I know it's going to roll like this. So why don't I just hit it and see if it goes in. See if I got it right. Oh, a little too hard. Hit the tee. But you guys kind of get the idea? I mean, if that tee wasn't there, probably would have caught the lip and dropped.
You still have to figure out the speed.
Yes.
That's the killer.
that's a whole nother-
That kind of a break. You gotta
That's
figure
a
out
whole
the
nother
speed.
thing. And with me, I don't really think about the speed too much. As I said, I mean, I know this is a 3.5 foot putt. And I've hit enough 3.5 foot putts in my life that I can make the compensation in my head, like subconsciously. So it's not in there, but for newer golfers who haven't hit a lot of putts, you do need to kind of learn.
You know, as far as speed goes,
Mhm.
it seems to me